What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you some news about Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and its newly released DLC, Inevitable Excess. So we've known about this DLC for some time. It was originally slated to release in the middle of February, but got pushed back to March 3rd. And alongside this DLC, actually, we also saw the release of patch 1.2, which had previously been in beta. Now, I did have a chance to play through the DLC itself, so you can consider this a bit of a review of sorts of that DLC. And my main thoughts are this. It will take you around 5 to 10 hours to complete depending on the difficulty you're playing it on, but I would expect somewhere in that range. You can start the DLC from the main menu by importing a character from your in-game saves, or you can also create a fresh character and start the campaign that way. Now, the DLC itself takes place in between the last two fights of the game, which is important because previously, right before the last two fights of the game is when you got your last mythic rank, which meant that in the base game you didn't really get to spend a lot of time with your full build because you didn't get fully powered up until right at the end. So this DLC offers you a chance to play with your full mythic abilities and kind of explore those options a bit. Now, the story of the DLC itself, my opinion is that I thought it was very cool. It did some stuff I did not expect. There are multiple endings to it, as well as, I wouldn't really consider it a secret ending, but there is an ending that requires a bit more work, but they do kind of spell it out for you. In addition to that, there's just options, way to handle events, and it's a fun little adventure that allows you to use your full mythic power and have some fun with it. Now, the DLC itself consists of Valmalos, which is the Inevitable, which is a sort of golem-like creature, who is in charge of safeguarding magic from the plane of Axis, which is the plane of law. However, there are some twists and turns that come at you pretty quickly, which I really enjoyed. That said, I was under the impression this DLC was going to take place more so in the city of Axis, rather than just like pocket planes of it. So you don't, unfortunately, get to explore the big city of Axis. Nonetheless, you do get to see some new environments, such as all this clockwork type stuff going on. And overall, my opinion of the DLC specifically is that it is nice, short and sweet. It's about $12, and if you enjoyed Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, you'll enjoy more of it, and I liked the DLC quite a bit. Again, it did some things I didn't expect, but most importantly, it gives you more opportunities to roleplay at that higher mythic rank level. Now from there, let's talk about patch 1.2 just a little bit. So this is a pretty sizable patch. It comes with a ton of fixes for everything, as well as rebalancing a few things. Some of the mythic paths saw rebalancing, such as the Demon and the Swarm. For instance, the Swarm starts getting clones right at rank 8 now, which means they don't have to wait until basically the end of the game to get their Swarm clones, which is a big part of how that is supposed to function. In addition to this, we see fixes to quite a few different things. The Blood Rager saw a lot of fixes to their Arcane Blood Rage. Ivu, the Azada Mythic Path companion, actually got a bit of a rework as well. She's a bit weaker overall, but can wear Barding now. There are a ton of quest fixes, a ton of mechanical fixes. However, all of that stuff said, and I will try to post a link to these patch notes down below, but all of that stuff said, I will say there are bugs that I am aware of with the classes still. For instance, they actually fixed a bunch of the Hell Knight Signifier stuff, which had some bugs related with it. But for instance, the Arcanist, the Eldritch Font, I know for a fact that one is still bugged. So this didn't fix everything by any means, but I really wanted to mention that this is a substantial patch. And if you're having a specific issue with the game, I would recommend you read through these patch notes and see if your stuff isn't fixed, because again, pretty massive patch. I think it wound up being around 17 gigabytes. But all of that said, guys, the new DLC is out. I enjoyed it quite a bit. For $12, it's not a bad little adventure. But also for the base game, we got patch 1.2, which is a substantial update to the game. And if you're waiting to jump into Wrath of the Righteous, there really isn't any better time than now. They do have 2 more DLCs that they've committed to. One is another story DLC, and the last one, I believe, is a roguelike dungeon for the more combat-focused among us. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.